Hey guys, if we haven't met before, my name is David Roush. Today we're going to look at 5 reasons why I love confessions of faith. And particularly why I love the 1689. Maybe will come in the future, but all these could be reasons why I love confessions of faith like that of the 1689. So let's jump right in. Reason number 1 why I love confessions of faith is because I love the clarity of Scripture. I love confessions of faith because I love the clarity of Scripture. Confessions of faith take the truth of Scripture and they present it clearly to others. They give us a foundation from which to grow upon and to take all the truth of Scripture and present it in a sort of systematized whole and then to begin to build on it and grow on it. I love confessions because they present clearly the truth of Scripture, which jumps in and ties into reason number 2, which is I love confessions of faith because they provide a cohesive view of the Scripture. If you begin reading Genesis chapter number 1 and verse 1, it says, "In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth." But it just takes for granted that you would understand who that God is. And in fact, you would know that if you would continue to read through the revelation that God has given to man. And what the confession does is it takes the truths of God about himself that he's revealed to man and puts them all together in a systematic form. God revealed himself by means of a narrative, a revelation through history, a story. And what confessions of faith do is they systematize those truths that God has seen fit to reveal himself to man, whether it's about man, about the Spirit of God, about the church, about the ordinances of the church, about how man is to be made right with God. Confessions take all of this knowledge that God has revealed about himself in Scripture through narrative and puts it all together in a package and systematizes it so that we can grow from it. We can see the cohesiveness of the Scripture. So why do I love confessions? The second reason is they serve the Scriptures by showing the Scriptures' cohesiveness. They gather all these truths together in a sort of consistent form. So reason number 1 why I love confessions is due to their clarity, and they give clarity to the truth of Scripture. They serve the Scripture by saying, yes, God is clear on these points. He speaks, and this is what he says. And I love the clarity of confession of faith. The second reason is their cohesiveness. They're building on the consistency of God's revealed truth. The third reason why I love confessions is that they remind us of our past. They show us that we're not disconnected from Christian history, but that God has been working amongst his people in time. And confessions of faith point us back to those people so that we can learn from them. So in this way, I'm humbled by confessions of faith. I have to and this is through the Scriptures, I have to see that God has revealed himself to man, and in time, man has taken the Scriptures, taught things from them, and that Christian history has borne out and set forward what is the truth of those Scriptures. They point us back, they bring us outside of ourselves to point us back to the past and see what have godly Christians taught, believe, or confessed in the past. So in this way, they humble us. Confessions, in this way that they humble us, they also prevent us from riding hobby horses of certain doctrines. The confession of faith, being comprised of many chapters on many different subjects, doesn't allow the serious student of Scripture to become narrowly focused on a few sets of doctrines, but presents a whole view of over 30 different chapters presenting truth on a whole variety of issues. So there's been many times in my study of the Scriptures and in my study of the confession that I'm forced to look at an issue that maybe I would have thought isn't important or maybe not relevant to me at a certain time, but it's forced me to consider it and therefore to get off of a hobby horse of any certain doctrine I may wish to ride and really present all of God's truth. And in this way, then confessions humble me. So Confessions of faith connect us with Christians of the past, and they humble me. And so I love them for that. That's reason number 3. Reason number 4, why I love confessions of faith, is because I love you. That is, I love confessions of faith because they clearly set forth what I believe sincerely the scriptures teach. And this is a service to you because, as I said before, we live in a time of muddled thinking. Doctrinal debris is floating everywhere, and you never know where somebody stands or what they believe. But confessions of faith allow me to serve you, or confessions allow men to serve one another by clearly setting forth what they believe. Everyone believes something about the scriptures. Whether or not we make it known is really the matter at hand, or the matter of the issue. Confessions of faith allow us to make known our sincerely held religious beliefs. And I love them for that because they serve you. They show you where I stand. And so they give you an opportunity to criticize me, to critique me, to show me where I'm wrong. Because you know what I believe on any given subject concerning what the scriptures teach. It's right there. It's written down for you. I've adopted it. And now it gives you the opportunity to search it, correct me where I'm wrong, to criticize me. So I love confessions of faith. This is the 4th reason then, because I love you. And they serve me in a way to serve you and showing you where I stand and maybe where we disagree. And that ties into the 5th reason. Reason number 5 why I love confessions of faith is because they unify Christians. They put to rest certain tertiary matters which we might debate in fun and in good spirit. But confessions of faith that have been adopted after serious prayer and consideration give a great unity to believers because we are able to gather around this collected set of truths and affirm that we believe them. Affirm with one another that this is what we believe the scriptures teach, and we unify then around the truth of the scriptures. It's the truth of the scriptures as set forth in the confession. So I love confessions of faith because they give believers a great opportunity to express unity. Reason number 4 was about how it makes clear to you so that you can correct me. So maybe where it divides us. And I want to be clear then, if you disagree with certain areas of the 1689, you disagree with me. But that is okay to point out. That sort of division that it might bring is okay because it's clear. I'm not hiding the division. And then also then the 5th reason, like I said, is one that's focused on unity, is that it takes believers who have seriously considered the matter, who really have looked into the issue, have thought about what the scriptures teach, have looked at a confession of faith like the 1689 and adopted it and made their own. Then it gives them an area to gather together and say, yes, we believe these things. We have unity on these things. And so it serves the purpose to advance Christian unity in that way. So there's 5 reasons why I love confessions of faith. I love them for their cohesiveness. I love them for their clarity. They give an opportunity for us to grow upon. I love them because they connect us with the past. I love them because they show us where we disagree. And I love them because they show us where we do agree. So hopefully this was a help to you. Have a good one.